liquor license transfer. It's Tuesday, October 12th, 6:30 p.m. Let's start with standing for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Christine, will you do roll call, please?
Yes. President Dr. Nancy Carpenter,
Present.
Vice President Dave Matlin,
Present.
Janet Loalbo. Present. Sylvia Provenza. Present. Trish Redzek Showalter.
Joining a little bit.
Yeah, she might be joining in a bit.
A little bit
Raymond Suchovich,
Here.
Joseph Warren,
Present.
David Recupero,
present.
Craig Alexander,
Here.
Christine D. Runk, present.
Thank you. And now we're going to turn the meeting over to Solicitor Alexander.
Thank you. The purpose of this public hearing is to consider public input with respect to a resolution to permit the intermunicipal transfer of a restaurant liquor license R-955 into Verona Borough to be located at 200 Allegheny River Boulevard, Verona, PA 15147. And that's the Giant Eagle facility, similar to what we did with the Get-Go across the street here. Is the applicant here? The applicant? Come on, want to come to the podium and tell council and
Turn it on.
its residents what you guys intend to do?
Can you turn that mic on, please?
On the side somewhere. There
Thank
go.
you.
Is it on?
I think so.
Great. Good evening. My name's Ellen Freeman. I'm an attorney at Flaherty and O'Hara, and I represent Verona Foods Incorporated. I have here with me this evening George Sears. He is the director of this particular grocery store, as well as a few others in the area. So hopefully, if I'm unable to answer any questions, I can call on him and have him testify as well. And together we are here to request that Verona Borough approve a resolution which would permit the intermunicipal transfer of a restaurant liquor license, which is currently located outside of the borough, to within it. And your solicitor is correct. You did this several years ago for the Get-Go, which is very close in proximity to this Giant Eagle. Giant Eagle is, of course, a very well-known grocery store. They operate mainly in the western and central parts of Pennsylvania. And this particular grocery store is an independently owned and operated grocery store, but they do follow the same terms as Giant Eagle does. So if you're familiar with any of the other Giant Eagles in the area that operate a liquor license, this will be very similar to that operation. I'm going to pass out one exhibit for tonight's hearing. We can just label it A1 for applicant's exhibit A1. And this exhibit will be 2 pages. The first page is a depiction of the overall grocery store. And there will be a red outline, which is signifying what part of the grocery store would be considered licensed by the Liquor Control Board. And then the second page is just an enlarged version of that red outline.
Excuse me. Let's see. Thank you.
Thank you.
All the links are on the website. It doesn't get replaced.
All right, now that everyone has that in front of them, like I said, the first one is just a depiction of the overall grocery store. So you can see that the licensed premises will take up minimal space within the grocery store. Currently, there are some seasonal items there, as well as greeting cards and certain non-grocery store items. Those will all just be re-merchandised throughout the store. They're hoping not to lose any products. So that will just simply be relocated. And that particular area will be the only area within the grocery store where any alcohol will be displayed or sold. So it's in a very controlled environment. If you flip to the second page, this is of course just an enlarged version. So you can kind of see what it's going to entail. So you can see up at the top of the floor plan, they will have seating for up to 30 patrons. This is a liquor code requirement, so they will have that present. Customers are able to then dine in there if they so choose. And then there will be various shelving displays as well as cold doors for the beer and the wine product. And then at the very bottom of the floor plan, those are going to be the 2 licensed registers. So those are the only 2 registers which accept the beer and wine products. So even if a customer did make their way to one of the other registers, they will be told by those employees that they need to go back and buy it on the licensed premises. And the reason for that is because this Giant Eagle will have all of their associates within this area properly trained. So each of those associates that are going to handle the sale of alcohol at those registers will go through the Responsible Alcohol Management Program, that's the RAMP program. So they take this program every 2 years, and there's a test at the end. So they have to actually sit through the class and listen and learn. And this class teaches them every hypothetical you can think of when it comes to alcohol sales, how to properly card someone, what to look for a fraudulent ID, how to spot a visibly intoxicated person. And then one of the, I think the most important things is it teaches them how to properly decline a sale if they feel as though that ID is not adequate in some way. Giant Eagle, and this one in particular, will employ a 100% carding policy. So no matter what your age, you're going to be carded by an associate at that register. They will have limited hours of operation. Technically, this liquor license allows for the same privileges as a bar or a restaurant, but Giant Eagle will only sell alcohol from the hours of 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. They also have a limitation as to how much they can sell. They can sell 192 fluid ounces of beer to go and 3,000 milliliters of wine to go. So if you're thinking in layman's terms, that's about 2 6-packs of beer and 4 standard bottles of wine in a single transaction. Now, customers are permitted to purchase more than that if they want to, but they do have to leave the premises and come back and conduct a separate transaction. They are permitted, customers are permitted to consume on premises. This is another liquor code requirement. So in all of the Giant Eagles and all of the Get-Go's and all of the other convenience stores and grocery stores, they all do allow for on-premises consumption. Many people don't know about it because it happens so infrequently. There's not really a whole lot to keep individuals on the premises for very long. So Giant Eagle will employ a 2 beer or 2 wine policy maximum. And they've found this policy is pretty easy to keep in place for those reasons that no one's really sitting down and consuming all of that much at the seating area. And then in closing, there will be security cameras that are going to monitor the product as well as the register. And Giant Eagle takes their role in this community and the reputation that they've built since 1991 in this community very seriously. And that's why they put these safety policies in place, because they want to protect and maintain that reputation. So with that, I will turn it back over to the board and of course the public with any comments or questions.
I have a question. I have no problem with, what you, and I don't have a vote anyways. But what would it do to the beer distributor and the wine and liquor store as far as sales? I mean, and I'm sure, I guess Kappa Properties owns the property and it's run by Giant Eagle, and I'm sure they don't want empty stores either.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. In fact, I was just talking to Mr. Sears outside about this. Grocery stores have been acquiring liquor licenses since about 2009. And actually just as recently as last week, there was an article in the Lancaster newspaper that beer distributors are thriving still, especially close to a grocery store, because you have such a limitation when you go into a grocery store to purchase alcohol that they find they're not losing customers, they're keeping the same customers, because those are the customers that are wanting to purchase the 30 racks and more quantity. The Liquor Control Board and their state store, they don't ever see a problem with it for that same purpose, because they have that extra amenity of being able to sell spirits, whereas Giant Eagle cannot sell spirits to go. So we've found over the number of years, because beer distributors used to come to these hearings quite frequently and protest. They thought they were going to lose sales, which for good reason, but they found that they're thriving still. The distributors that are next to grocery stores are still in place today. And another reason for that is because Giant Eagle will have to actually purchase from distributors. Now, it depends on what territory they fall into. But the distributor that's in the area likely sells to retailers as well. And it could be that Giant Eagle will actually have to purchase their products to sell them from their store. So the profits are still there. Of course, I can't give you any specific studies, but I do feel as though the beer distributor will still be able to maintain and keep its customers.
Thank you.
I have a question. On the, where you're proposing it's gonna be, and it has the 2 registers. And it says it can't, is it, my question is, can it eventually be moved, or is this something that the LCB saying this is where it's gotta be? Or is this Giant Eagle, is Giant Eagle saying, this is where we want it and this is where it's gonna stay? Or can it move back like to the freezer section eventually or something?
So this plan is what we will ultimately apply with the Liquor Control Board. So the Liquor Control Board will have to review this and stamp their blessing on it. Now, let's say they approve the one that's in front of you today, and 10 years from now, Giant Eagle wants to move it to a totally different section of the grocery store. They could in fact do that.
Okay,
But they would have to go through the process with the Liquor Control Board and get that floor plan blessed as well.
okay, so they'd have to go through the LCB then.
Exactly, yes.
Right. Awesome. And is there any limits when you say you can go back outside, come back in and get 2 more 6-packs? Are you able to do that 4 or 5 times if you wanted?
You certainly could if you wanted
Okay,
to.
Okay, is that the same way as Gitco does?
Yep.
Okay, because I thought it was like, I didn't know if it was just like 2 6-packs a day or 2 bottles of wine a day or.
No, it's 2 6-packs in a single transaction. So
Okay,
that's the legal term under the liquor code. So, technically they could come back in and back and forth. Why they would do that with a distributor down the street, I don't know,
Right,
but
Well,
yeah,
I
if a
think
customer
this
really
is
wanted
great.
to,
I think
yeah.
this is great personally.
I have a question. It might be for this gentleman here. I'm trying to figure out and visualize in my mind how the store looks. So it seems to me that something like the flowers or the card display is going to be moved somewhere else. So could you go over how the store is going to be different? I mean, it's not a make or break it. I'm just curious.
Sure. George Sears,
Yeah.
as you know. The floral department is going to be moved where the cafe is currently, up
Okay,
in the front of the store by the carts. So they're gonna reformat that into, make that the floral department.
mhm,
The greeting cards are gonna be moved. That might be the only thing that gets downsized is the greeting cards.
mhm.
It will not disappear. There's just only so much room in the store and you
Mhm.
have to.
What are you
Make
gonna
do
do
with
with the
what
carts?
Carts stay. The cafe where it is now, there's gonna be a display piece with flowers and kind of their workstation inside the cafe.
So the cards are still gonna be where they are now?
No, the
just-
cards are gonna be moved. The cards are gonna be moved to the other side of the store. They don't have an exact plan on that yet, exactly where in the store, but it's gonna be probably up by the seasonal wall and or the health and beauty aids by the pharmacy.
Oh, okay, okay.
Well, they could actually see now where everything's going. It's really bright in there. with those
It is,
new
right?
lights.
It is,
Yeah.
it really is.
I have a question about security. Will you have an increased presence of security there, or is it something that we rely on local police? Should there be someone intoxicated or any nuisance that occurs?
We don't have security there right now.
Right.
And no, we don't plan on putting security. We don't think that's gonna be an issue with.
I've been in other regional locations that you have that same offering, but I've never thought if there was police or security that you provide, or if it was just municipalities.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we rely on the municipalities.
Now, you're gonna have food there too, George, where people can sit and eat?
Well, we have our hot foods right now, and
Okay.
yes, they are permitted to sit and eat in that section.
Okay, are you adding more food to that?
No,
Okay,
No.
what we have in the hot food now
Correct.
is what was.
grab and go and stuff, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the requirements of the restaurant
That-
license.
That
correct?
is correct. Well, no, I think, the food, yeah, I know the seating is, but yeah.
Any other board comment?
Okay, at this time, we'll take comments from the public on this liquor license transfer. Please approach the podium or raise your virtual hand. Clearly state your name and address and limit your comments to 3 minutes. So no one in the audience has any comments. Then I'll take motion to adjourn this hearing. Is that it?
Want to make a motion to adjourn?
Yes, I'll make that motion to adjourn this hearing.
Okay,
Second.
You put your pen on.
I was going to say something, but I'll say it after the motion to adjourn.
okay. First by Mr. Suchavitz, second by Mrs. Provenza. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor to adjourn, say aye.
I
Aye. Okay.
So that resolution